Oh, say, can you see by the dawn what so proudly we hailed at the twilight? Boys, I need to use the bathroom after 2 weeks, 3 weeks of man hardcore competition. Anyways, pit crew, competition season is in full swing. Things are happening. There's a lot of things that, we're here to talk about in terms of design choices, strategy, and just overall the meta and things that are happening throughout various competitions, what teams are doing. So, guys, I'm excited. Sit back, grab your popcorn, grab your Mountain Dew, and let's just go right into it.
That went right into the mic, I'm sure.
Oh, that's great. So
you don't sound excited. You sound really tired.
Yeah, I am actually tired. Which at the time of this recording, I just got done volunteering for the Belleville district event.
Oh wow.
Here, yeah, and I believe you two are actually at that event as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's great. I'm sure we'll be able to talk about Belleville here in a little bit. But overall, Victor, Mark, you guys did a great job running the event. And again, as always, food was top notch, parallel to none. And it's always a great time to visit Belleville. And for anyone, you and the pit crew, haven't gotten the chance to either compete, volunteer, or even just visit the Belleville event, highly recommend. So thank you, Mark and Victor, and the great school, Belleville. So yeah.
I'll say my comments.
So yeah.
All right. Turret versus dumper.
Yes. So throughout competition season, there's really two main design choices in terms of types of shooters and collection of fuel, right? Turrets and big dumpers. What have you guys been seeing from those two designs? Like, how are teams utilizing those designs into their strategies?
Well,
shoot balls.
Yeah, both of them are shooting balls, which I feel like is really important. Because if you don't have either, you're probably not really shooting
or playing
balls.
the game. Like you're probably playing Reefscape then.
Yeah. But here's what I'll say, and also I feel like I should say, because I feel like the first time I heard this, I thought like of a dump truck, but the dumpers, the ones that don't have a turret that are just shooting like 5 at once or 3 or 2 or whatever,
yeah,
right?
Just all big.
In case anyone didn't hear that vernacular, like me,
or if
that's
you live,
why.
if you live in some weird part of the world like California, dumper.
Anyway, Chris, to answer your question, my thought as I'm seeing it, the turrets seem really nice for cleanup duty, but the dumpers feel like it's where the money's at.
Mm-hmm.
Where you can just, especially if you have a big capacity for your dumper and you're accurate at all with it, time is money with the shifts, and you're able to just dump everything in all at once, and then you have time to get, another. Maybe you don't get a full dump truck full, but you can get a little more up there before your shift's over.
100% agree. I think big dumpers, like for some of the case studies, right? You guys look at 1678 citrus circuits, 254 cheesy poofs, even back home here, the 5460 strike zone. All these teams have basically a continuous 2 wide, 3 wide shooter, meaning that 2 or 3 balls can shoot out of their system at the same time. All these balls are getting basically vomited into the hub, and I genuinely do think that when a team is able to output the balls faster and able to acquire more fuel and keep going with their cycles, that's where teams are winning. And inherently, turrets, unless if you're like a multi-turret that can have the same output as big dumpers, that's where turrets are going to fall just behind, not by much, but just behind in that regard, because it's all continuous stream of fuel into the hub instead of just one, like, a collection of balls being shot out at the same time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and like you just said, I think turrets, they do a phenomenal job at cleanup duty and for cleanup duty.
Yeah.
And passing too, because turrets have that ability to pick a spot and just shoot to them no matter where they are. So if they're in the neutral zone, you want it that corner, bam, they're doing it, right? Not so much for dumpers because they more than likely have a fixed shooter,
Yeah,
right? So you got a line first and then shoot. You can't really shoot shoot on the move,
right? And that's two different strategies that turrets and dumpers also have. Is that for turrets, you can, if your turret is on a pivot, right?
As turrets usually are,
Yeah.
Kind of the definition of turret, yeah.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
Turrets have the advantage of like being able to track where it's going to be and shoot at that moment of time. Versus dumpers, you have to, when you collect, you don't necessarily have that. You have to, aim, set, and shoot.
Yeah.
And right, and so for some teams, that's the design. That's the choice that they make, right? Do you want to be able to shoot on the move and shoot wherever you want on the field, or do you want to be the type of team that picks a spot, dumps it all quickly, move on, right? There's no right or wrong answer to that. Both have their skill sets in that strategy. So it's just how the teams are utilizing it, because I haven't seen, at least at the time of this recording, I haven't seen a high level team able to accomplish both with their current design. It's more so a trade off of what they're doing. So
Yeah, for sure. And I'll say too, I think from the turret side, having a good intake that works really well and being able to actually shoot anywhere within your zone into the hub, that's really, I think, the things you need to have if you're going to be a good turret, right? Because if you're going all the way to the corners, but now your turret can't make the shot, really the advantage of the turret, in my eyes, is having that ability to shoot anywhere and be intaking while you're shooting, so you don't have to worry about going to refuel like a big dumper would, first of all. And second of all, and this is something I'm kind of curious to see how it might evolve, it's like I think we mentioned, the big dumper, it seems like the way those are designed, you probably have a bit more limited spots you can shoot from. So how do we see, especially when we get to higher levels of competition, like a district championship or a world championship or the Einstein type of deal, is there going to be a way you can play defense to keep a big dumper from getting to their sweet spot?
Early predictions, I can see it. It's more so just defending that spot, right? Because and we'll probably talk about it, some
Later
other
on,
time.
yeah,
Some
but-
other time. But I think, right? It's psychology, right? Where are teams picking their spot to shoot, right? It could be, variety of things, big dumper wise, right? Turrets, right? As you said, they can shoot anywhere on the field. It doesn't really matter, right? Playing
Well,
defense
if you're going to be a successful
right.
turret, at least.
Right,
I'm sure a lot of
successful.
people making a turret, it just never gets to that point with code. You don't have enough time to test the
Right.
facilities to test. And then that's just rough. But
Right.
I think if you can do that well, yeah.
Do that well, right? But in terms of like big dumper, and this is where strategy and scouting comes to real big play, which we won't talk about too much in this regard. But look at previous match videos and look at where are they shooting. Is there a continuous spot there they're always shooting from? If you can defend that area, man, you just messed up their shooting process. And really, really.
We've got a big dumper. We threw in a lookup table. We're shooting from just about anywhere.
About anywhere.
Our driver has their favorite spot. Don't get me wrong, but in like end game when it's like 10 seconds, like last minute shot, auto aim, pull trigger, it'll do it. It'll do it from the back corner. It'll do it next to the trench.
Yeah,
and it was a pretty simple, code adjustment.
Sure.
So yeah.
Right.
No articulated hood, nothing fancy, just flywheel changes and just kind of
Just the speed of it.
Speed of it.
interpolation and
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. That's
So
fair. That's fair.
It's a matter of just getting the robot aligned to it. So like if there's a robot that's that's on us and won't let us turn and actually like face the hub, yeah, sure. But like favorite spot, not so much. We can still go down here any other spot and probably make it.
Yeah. And that's, of
So-
course, if a team is able to make those changes and able to have that capacity. I know some teams, they just have a shooter, but then that's it, right? It's no adjustment of the speed or, like, adjustable hood, things like that, right? So in that regard, that's where, right, just kind of look at what teams have those type of designs. If they're able to make those adjustments on the fly during the match, then go from there. So, but yeah, that's also fair. Also fair. Okay. Well, I think the next thing that ties into this as well is designs that are utilizing trench routes versus bump routes. We have seen a good amount of teams that only go over the bump getting beached on top of the balls. And I don't think it's that much of an issue other than they're losing a few seconds of time when they're stuck.
Well, it depends. Some teams get stuck for almost the whole match, and they start grinding up the fuel underneath them, and get a verbal warning or a major foul if it's their second instance of it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
But yeah, what?
But yeah, what?
But yeah, what?
Yeah, what?
yeah. Sometimes it's only a few seconds. Sure, yeah.
Sometimes it's not. Sometimes they're stuck for the whole match. I'm just saying, right? Going over the ball. So here's something I've been noticing at some of the events that I've been to is for teams that are trench bots, when they don't have, let's say, a full capacity into their hopper, yeah, they go through the trench, they shoot, no worries about getting stuck or whatnot. I've seen plenty of teams now that when their hopper gets too full, like, or their net, goes, on top of, the height of the trench, right? They can't use the trench. They're still forced to then use the bump to go over and shoot.
Yeah, they don't fit under it anymore.
Don't fit under it anymore. Right. So I'm curious with your guys' designs, is it a matter of the wrong design choice teams utilize when they can't go under the trench when they have a full hopper, or is it just a switch up a strategy when they have to choose between the trench or the bump?
I think it's more balls.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a matter of like going under the trench versus bump. I just think it's just like we want more balls.
More
Right.
fuel, more fuels.
I can't remember if Hot can go into the trench or not, but Bees tall, Strike Force tall, Citrus Circuits tall when they want to be.
When they want to be, right.
Just more balls, more points.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. There's definitely, I think, like we talked about, especially if you're a big dumper, right? The more fuel you can hold, not only is that less fuel your opponents can get, but it's more that you can unleash, right? But I think I've noticed lots of risks with the bump, right? I mean, first of all, there are teams, now usually it's overcomable, but there's some that get stuck on there. That's one thing. Getting beached is a risk we see from the bump quite a bit as well. And there was a third one I forgot, so we'll see if it comes back to me. But
Maybe,
yeah. I just
jumping
remembered it.
into
I
another
remembered it.
robot.
Okay.
Sometimes when you go, if you don't have anything on the top of your hopper, one thing I see when you go over the bump, fuel go flying out all over the place. You're losing it.
Yeah.
That's
Which
fair.
is, difficult. I think you see that especially with one that can go under the trench, where it's like, oh, we have a few too many fuel in us. Let's just go over the bump. Well, all that fuel that you had as an advantage for going over the bump just flew out of your robot.
Flew out,
Yeah.
right? So at that point, I feel like in that regard, for teams that are being overflown or they go over the bump and then just end up losing those fuel, right? It then becomes a food for thought of if you're utilizing the bump more often than the trench, and you're not utilizing the advantage of the trench, right? Holding more, the extra fuel then, and be able to go under smoothly and all that, right? Is why not then just gone with like a big dumper design, not shooting wise, but like a big hopper design wise, in that regard, right? Because ultimately you gave up the fuel capacity to be able to easily go under the trench as often as possible. And if you're not utilizing that,
That's what I'm trying to figure out too.
right, then
Why
not?
was everybody so focused on going under the trench?
Right, then just go over the bump.
Yeah,
right? 'Cause
but
the
nice part is that you can always make your hopper taller, right? You can just rivet on some more Lexan. In
That's
most
true.
cases,
That's
right?
true.
You can rivet on some pieces, make your hopper taller, and
That's
just not
true.
go into the trench.
Which I want to also add in terms of like adding things to your robot. I'm seeing more and more teams are now adding nets or now adding in more
Yeah.
like polycarb on top of their
Yep.
hopper. I think it's more so to so that way they don't lose as many balls as they go over the bump, but also trying to avoid the what's it called? The
Accidentally picking them up as you
acci-
drive by.
right,
the
right,
thing
to the
above, yeah.
right. I think more and more teams are recognizing that and are trying to add in, protective tops too, so that way, that doesn't get called on them. Just let the ball roll off and then continue collecting without any worry. So,
Anything else we want to talk about bumper trench?
no, I think we want to look at the tower for a sec.
The tower.
The
What is
tower.
the tower?
The tower for this game? It's not being
Sucks.
used. I mean,
It's
it's
Undervalued. I said this at the beginning of the season. Should have been more points, right?
yeah.
We all
Yeah.
said this. Should have been more points. Nobody's using it.
there's no point.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think some of the flip climbers kind of made it easy peasy. Probably shouldn't have been. I don't know. Just if it was a little bit taller to where your robot couldn't just flip over it, we would probably see some more cooler climbers. 4907, they got a really cool climb, right?
which
I don't know what they just posted their reveal video. I haven't watched it if it's like magnets or what. But
It is magnets. It is
Okay.
magnets that they ride up the rail of
Yeah.
the tower.
That
and
one's
then-
pretty sick.
Yeah.
And then you got 118 and 987 who grab on to the end of it and then flip around. That's pretty cool. If it was a little bit taller, it would have been an awesome design challenge, I think. But
But even if
level
it was
1
taller,
should have
why
been
would-
50, level 2 100, level 3 150. 300, why not? Bam. That's what it should have been, not 10 20 30, right? It's useless. I told some of the other teams, not teams, I'm sorry. Some of the off seasons, I'm like, can you guys just not put up the tower because it just gets in the way of collecting fuel for your off season event.
Yeah. I think 50, 100, 150 might be a little too aggressive. I get what you're saying. That feels like it'll turn into Steamworks 2.0, though. where it's
Yeah,
like,
let's go.
let's climb for 50 points, and why bother starting the rotors for 40 and scoring the fuel for 1/9 of a point in the low boiler?
Yeah, chaos, baby.
But yeah, it is.
I don't care what point value it is, but,
But
yeah,
it needs
you
to be
get
at
the
least
idea.
double
yeah.
or triple what it is right
Yeah,
now, for
right.
sure. Because it's, I mean, from an engineering standpoint, right? As you're sitting down as a team, you're deciding what you should do. Why are we investing time in making a climber when it's good for, I guess it's technically good at the end of auto as well as the end game, but you're scoring for the entire 2 minutes and 40 seconds of the match. You can score a fuel, and probably in the time it would take you to climb, you could score the amount of fuel that you would get from doing the climb, right?
Mhm.
So it really doesn't make any sense unless you really want that ranking point. But since everyone decided alone it's not worth it, no one even has the capabilities to that ranking points. I think we've had, am I mistaken? Has it been one ranking point for the climb
In Michigan.
In Michigan.
In the
So
state,
far through
in
week
the
3?
state of Michigan, there's been one, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah, and it's, at the time of this recording, 3 weeks of competition, each week having 6 events. So you can tell
No.
how
No.
Week
No.
1 only
Week
had
1.
3, but
only
yeah,
week 1 3,
that would have been like 15 or so
Yeah.
events total now at
Yeah.
this point, and it's
and no one's doing it, right? So I think design committee, you kind of flip the pancake on this one.
What do you
I
mean by that?
So the point value being underutilized or undervalued, and no one's using it, right? And there's no real point other than try to get the ranking point. But in order to get the ranking point, you need at least one other bot to help you get the ranking point. And most teams don't have a climber to even do that. So yeah, there's just no point.
Here's an interesting question, because I don't know if they can change the point values for the tower, right? But for district championships and world championships, it said the thresholds were TBD, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yes.
Do we think it's possible they may lower that threshold for the ranking point down from 50? Or was that only the
I thought it was only
two
for
ball
fuel.
points? That
I
Let
think
me-
it's
let me
only
check.
fuel.
Let me check,
Yeah,
let me check.
yeah. Nathaniel is gonna check on his laptop. But I don't think so. I think it's just fuel that's TBD for at least amounts and points. But I don't think they're gonna change the value for
I
the
don't think they
tower.
will.
No. Plus, if they even did, I don't think there's not enough time for teams to add on a climb for either L1, L2, or L3.
Oh,
All. He says
no.
all.
Traversal RP 50 and district and first championship TBA.
Oh.
They could lower it.
Wow. So maybe they
I don't think we've ever seen it lowered before for anything.
But that's what I'm saying. Maybe that
Yeah.
incentivizes enough teams to slap a little
Their
L1
climber back
climber on,
on.
or
Right.
maybe it makes it so few teams have it. Those teams with an L1 climber, maybe now you're like, okay, we only need to get to, say, 35 points instead of
Mhm.
50. Like now only one of us need to climb an auto, and we just need to get 2 level 1s or a level 2 plus in the end game. Like I don't know if they'll do something like that. That feels like a stretch because it would,
It's in there.
but it's
It's in
TBA.
there.
It's in.
We've
dude,
never seen it
that-
lowered, but I feel like
that
is
could
that a way
change
they
some
could make
things.
them want to use it more? If the
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
could be
Yeah.
spicy. Yeah.
Yeah, that could change some things up. Okay. Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh my
let's-
God. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do
I
it.
didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah. HQ. I know you watch our videos. Somebody out there watches
Well,
them.
somebody will.
probably not on the
somebody's
game
gonna see
design
this.
committee.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like just quick walk down the stairs. Be like, hey, GDC, what's up? Hey, can we lower this? That would be pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I thought you were about to say like, can we just adjust the point values for the wrongs? But yeah, you're talking about the RP. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think you
that's
could
smart.
justify
If you-
changing that. That would be unfair, I
Yeah.
think.
Right.
But
But the
Right, yeah,
RP
absolutely.
itself.
changing the RP,
Changing
that's
the
already
RP.
listed as something that could change.
Yeah,
Right.
That's
yeah.
totally fair game to lower it. Yeah, that
Mhm.
would be nuts.
Yeah. And in quals, that's the name of the game, right? You want to get as many ranking points as possible. So adding that,
Yeah, exactly.
throws.
Yeah.
throws-
What would we lower it to? Since we have HQ on the line right now, like what would be a good value? 30, 40? Not 30 because high rung.
High rung
Yeah, you-
itself is
or,
30.
Yeah,
I think you'd want to go at least
40.
35 because it would require
2 bots.
2 bots or the 1 bot to be able to do an L1 in auto, and then the L3.
Yeah.
Climbs.
So yeah,
Later,
probably
but-
35 or 40.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sheesh, man, dude. If that comes out in a team update, I will flip my pancake. Holy crap.
That's
That's
right.
That would be crazy.
Some
Okay.
extra maple syrup.
Food for thought.
Tower might not be dead. Tower might not
I think we
be
could
dead.
change this to Tower is resurrected.
Tower's thumbnail. All right. Okay.
yeah.
Anything else?
Let's
I think we're good. Let's
keep flipping those pancakes.
yeah, next pancake. Let's see what we got. All right. Human player strategy. Now we can insert a clip here really quick from what I had said in their first video. I guess where were we thinking the human player is going to throw to?
The hub.
The hub?
Yeah. Throw it in.
My personal opinion, and I really don't have that much evidence to back it up, I think that's going to be very slow. Like, if you have a 20-second auto, they have 24 balls. I think getting more than 1 a second throwing with accuracy will be difficult. I mean, maybe that's the way you get like 10 from there, and then you focus on the depot first versus the outpost. I think that might be a good point.
Yeah.
But I think in the grand scheme of things, I would trust the robot to score them faster and in a more accurate manner than a human player. All right, we're back from the clip. Evidently, that was wrong because human players, and I think a lot of matches, especially when robots are going bad or it's just,
Dead.
Especially in these early weeks, as teams are still dialing in their designs and getting things working. Human players are making a big difference, not only in who's winning auto, but sometimes who's even winning the match.
Oh, 100%. And it's really that the human players, right? If they're good shot makers, man, I've seen some matches to where the human players all alone are putting up double digits into the scores, right? Which, if for a tight game, that could swing in their favor. I've seen at week 2 at the event that I was volunteering at Wayne, where the human players were a huge factor into how those matches were won or lost. There was one match that was incredibly tight. There was a match that I believe was won by 2 to 3 points. But the way they won it, man, the human players last like 10 seconds, lobbed up 3 shots into the hub, won it for their team. So I think it is important that human players are able to make those shots and get it into the hub. Because who knows, you might win it for them.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You can take it away. Sorry, I got nothing else to say at the moment.
You said it right. I mean, if you can get a good shot, it makes a difference especially in those tight matches. I think it's interesting too because of that. There's very few robots that go over and try to use what's it called, the outpost.
I think that's what it's called.
In auto, right? They're almost always leaving it for those human players, and every time a robot does use it, I honestly feel like they're making less shots with those because they just don't line up to get it in their robot quite right, or they don't get back and shoot with the right power.
Yeah.
Where the human players are having better accuracy than the robots.
Yeah.
I feel like a decent chunk.
So I don't think you were wrong in your original take, right? Like not entirely wrong, right? Like the robots can be more accurate than the human player. All the robots are going in the middle to steal more balls that are free game, right? The outpost and depot are yours. Nobody's going to try to steal those in auto, right? Lining up the outposts, they get most of them. But a lot of robots have nets on their bot, right? So they're either can't load from the outpost, or they got to dump them all onto the floor, then kind of drive up and scoop them up. Human player accuracy,
it depends on the human player.
It's kind of hard to tell. Yeah, I mean, the balls, it's not even just like the human player's fault. It's just the fact that the balls are so slippery too, right?
Yeah.
But it's not a difficult shot.
It's not, right?
Right,
I mean,
it's pretty close, I think most kids can make it, which it's cool.
And that's some of the things that I've seen too, where there's some human players, and not to knock on them, it's just an observation I'm seeing, that during the match, as soon as like a team shuttles balls into like their station, the players that are quickly grabbing the balls and shooting as fast as possible, but end up not making most of their shots. So I guess it's something that I want to like advise for like human players. It's okay to take a few seconds to like calm your thoughts, make sure you have a great lineup shot, and then when you toss the ball into the hub, that you know that it was great out of your hand, it's going to go into the hub, and you know that you just scored for your alliance. Now, it is a bit of a bowling thing here, but I wonder if it's against the rules that if teams or the human players has like a bag of rosin and they just kind of have it rubbed on their hand.
What's rosin?
So rosin, yeah.
I don't know how to describe it. It's just something that you use. It helps you get a better grip on something. Like baseball pitchers will use it on the mound.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that
Like a rosin bag, right?
Yeah.
I feel like that's against the rules, right?
Is
like
it?
leaving something. It's not damaging the ball, but it's leaving something on the ball. You know what I mean?
I would say ask
Like a
your head
liquid.
referee at your next competition during opening
No,
ceremonies.
check the rules first, dumb kids.
That probably just got me in trouble. Kids
Everybody
are
had states coming up with like these bags of white powder.
yeah. They just all over their hand, and you see just white powder.
I imagine that's probably against the rule. I feel like that would be modifying the game piece or like
Yeah.
Yeah.
It probably falls under that.
Oh, yeah.
I can't think of a rule number that says you can't modify a game piece. I can see no damage. That one I know the rule exists, but
Yeah.
I don't think rosin would necessarily damage it.
Right. It won't. Right. I don't think damage. Maybe like the inside of the hub itself, like when it spits out and the sensors and all that, and they get all the rosin in it. I think that might do a little bit of it.
A number.
Yeah. Yeah. So switching to another topic here, hurting, passing, and defense, right? During your on shift and off shifts. So I'm curious, what's the play in that regard for you guys?
So couple of
On shift, shoot balls. Off shift, get balls.
in general, yeah.
Yes.
I'll say the biggest thing that I think has changed in my mind between preseason and where we're at now after week 3 of competition is I feel like passing really isn't that advantageous. In my opinion, what I'm seeing that I feel, this is anecdotal, like I haven't done math on it, but it feels like hurting balls and just trying to shove them under the little low bar. It's not 2016. I don't know why I called it that, but I forgot the name of it. Trench. I feel like that is acting a lot faster than like going somewhere and shooting to pass.
Yeah. Yep.
I also feel like a lot of times during your off shift, it's the 25 seconds, right? I feel like you get a full hopper and you're to about 10 seconds left, say maybe, and now you're going to shoot to pass, and now you're at 5 seconds left, and you're like, oh, I need to have a full hopper to be ready to shoot. It's like you're losing time. Like, in theory, the advantage of passing makes sense. You have them to grab later, but I feel like the off shift is not turning out to be long enough where you can fill up, shoot, and then fill up again.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
kind of more of a fill up, shove what you can under as well, and then go over and lock in.
I've seen plenty of teams too. Same thing. They end up unloading their entire hopper during their off shift, but then they have 10 seconds left to recollect, then come back, then get ready to shoot. And then when they do shoot, it's not the full hopper they have. All that already is like somewhere on their side of the field.
And I think maybe there's a mental side of it too you don't think about till you're in the moment, right? But obviously the first hopper you collect is a lot easier because you're grabbing the balls that are already over there. Once you shoot those and they're gone, you're like, oh, okay, that was not too bad to pick up that first batch. Well, the batch you just picked up is not there anymore,
Yeah.
right? So what balls are you planning to pick up?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Because you're not going to go on the other side of the opponent's field.
No,
to
you don't have enough time
You don't have enough time, and all the balls in the middle. Now it's all scattered single pieces.
No, it depends. I mean, there's still a lot of balls in the field.
I mean, there is, right, but
Unless the opposing alliance is hoarding them all, right? There's still a good chunk. It's just you got to look where they are. They're usually underneath the hub, and that presents its own problems, right?
Yeah.
The passing them, it's not like I agree with you absolutely. It's not useless though, right? Like passing it is still good.
Yeah, there's value to it,
right.
especially if you do it the right way.
Right. And that's where it comes back to what I said earlier about dumpers versus turrets, because turret, shoot on the move, you can pass and shoot like constantly for those 10, 15 seconds. And that's really good versus the big dumpers got to, pick them up and then just barf them all out and do that first payload. But then, yeah, absolutely. Especially for something like us, right, where we have enough time to just pick up one payload, pass it, and then pick up another, and that's the one that we got to shoot, and then drive back over, get in our spot, and fire that one off. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about timing,
right. And that also kind of leads into that if you are passing and you're shooting it into your side, I am curious if this is going to be employed more for states or district champs and worlds, the starvation game. Not necessarily passing just so that way you have more things to shoot. It's preventing the other alliance from getting more fuel and forcing them to go over to your side. I wonder if that's going to be played a lot more because, in my opinion, I think that's where matches are going to be won or lost more or less, is not necessarily scoring more than your opponents. Can you take away more of their opportunity to score for most of the match?
Yeah, we've seen a couple times where teams will go down into the opponent's alliance zone, but they're only playing defense and not really picking up balls. And we have another idea I've had is we haven't seen anyone take those balls, pass them in the neutral zone, and then your other member take those balls and pass them into your, and just kind of like do a double pass. Maybe that's Order 66. Shout out, Clint.
Well,
this year, but we haven't seen that double pass. We haven't seen two robots in the opponent's alliance zone, and kind of, what would you want to call that? Siphon it out, siphon out the fuel.
The closest I've seen to this, and I don't think we prepped the episode to add this in, but 2910 Jack in the Box, I think their first event at PNW Peak Glacier or Glacier Peak or however that event is called.
Glacier Mountain. Water.
Yeah. Glacier Mountain.
I just made that up.
Great.
It's Glacier Peak. I got a laptop right in front of me.
2910, they don't have a big capacity hopper at all. They just have a complete pathway from their intake to the bot shooter immediately. So they don't hold to collect anything. They just shoot whatever's in their bot immediately. And I've seen them, some of their matches, they're just starving the other alliance completely, both midfield, and I've seen them full court on the other side of the field, just launching balls into their side. And that's forcing them.
They're ranked 7th there.
Yeah.
And then they lost in finals.
Yeah.
Dang.
I mean, they didn't win, but I'm saying
tough.
I know the
strategy.
strategy.
Still a good robot, but like, ooh. Rough start.
And that's the thing, right? And that's the thing is that
The starvation strategy.
The starvation. I think they're, as of right now, they're one of the best starvation bots in this season because if you see for most of their matches, almost 2/3 of the field is nearly gone of like those big piles of balls. There's still stragglers here and there, but most of that's getting pushed to their side of the field. So I think more alliances and more teams are going to utilize that. That's where you know who's going to win or who's going to lose.
So, as you're saying this, kind of what's going on in my head, I'm like, okay, it's like world championship level. This is where I think we really start to see it with alliance selection. That 3rd or 4th robot, I mean, I guess depending on how exactly much you like the particular team or how the field looks for it, you're maybe grabbing a team that can go and basically spend, if you're putting them in your lineup for that match, maybe you decide you need 3 offense or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
But have them chill in the opponent's zone basically the whole match, and when they're on shift, just screw them up so that they're slowing down their scoring, and especially on the off shift, you're just picking up all the balls they got over there and like full court shot back over to your side. Heck, maybe you even think it's more effective on their on shift to just full court pass.
Full court, yeah.
Try to starve it.
Starve it. I think that, in my opinion, that's where I would like to see where the meta is going, right? Because the high score, score more as quickly as possible than your alliance, right? That's the standard for what this game is and how it's made. I just like to see more starvation. I like to see the dog fight on the field. So
I don't know. I feel like the RoboCups could do starvation on their own with the size of their hopper.
Yeah.
Well, there might be more balls that be added to the field.
No, I don't
For
think
states for worlds.
No.
No, you sure?
Increase the number on the field. You're saying?
Yeah, increase the amount of fuel. Yeah.
No.
I don't think that'll happen.
No, that's against
other
the
than
rules.
within the
Is
plus
it?
or minus 24 in the middle of the field, but that's
Yeah.
just a margin of error. That's not to say they can add 24
and
more.
Is-
even
is-
that's just accounting for preloads.
Yeah, is that? I thought it was in the manual. I haven't read it in a hot minute here, but I thought it was in the manual that where it states or worse, there's a possibility they'll add in more fuel.
No.
No?
Like, I'm so
there's
confident
a
that
possibility the
I'm-
threshold for the ranking points, the number of fuel you need to score might go up
Yeah.
or down.
like I'm so confident that I'm not even gonna look it up on the laptop.
Now owe me a dinner.
You know what? Tell you what, Chris. You can make dinner at my house and not clean up. Oh, wait. You already did it. Okay, we're even.
Cooking with Chris too, baby.
Watch
Yes.
out for that.
I would like to issue a public apology to Chris Fong. I was wrong. Chris was right for once.
For one. Hey. Hey.
Chris is right. Yep. More fuel can be added to the field. Read the game manual.
That's
I was
important.
wrong. Yep.
Read the manual, guys.
Ian, what'd you like to say to Chris and everybody?
Chris, you were right. I don't apologize because I genuinely caught it, but I'm glad I know right now.
Well, anyways, let's switch over to a new topic here about the auto strats, right? Oh, the auto strats, I think, is going to also be a major factor that's going to determine who wins or loses, because I think the race to the big pile in the middle of the field, when you collect it first and when you disperse that big pile of balls against the alliance, right? So if you collect the balls and then disperse, there are times where the other opponents and the alliance, their auto, they don't collect as many balls as they would have, or they just end up only getting stragglers. And because of this, they end up losing auto, and that shifts the entire dynamic of the match. To now, depending on the type of team, the type of design that they have, now they're playing catch up of just trying to catch up to the other alliance, or just try to gain the lead by a small margin now. And there's actually a video that I want to look into.
Yeah, we'll play a clip of it right now as we talk about it.
Right. So the match you'll be seeing is Marysville quarter qual match 78. The main thing is
78 or 79.
79. I know I'm blind. 35-39 Biting Bulldogs against 33 the Killer Bees at Marysville. So go ahead. We'll play that clip for you right now.
3, 2, 1, go! Match 79 shows us the 1 and 2 ranked teams teamed up on the Red Alliance and the 6th and 9th ranked team on the Blue Alliance. All I'm saying is expect offense. Blue Alliance dominated autonomous period. They will emerge.
So
up.
after watching that video, you can see in auto that 35-39 was able to get to the middle pile first, collect their fuel for the hopper. But if you notice how, I'm sorry. You
As
notice
they were doing it,
as
they
they're
just
doing it-
knocked all the fuel they didn't grab
right,
all over the place,
exactly,
right?
right. So 33 and 35-39, they were line up on the same side of the field. So this is going to be a race. 35-39 happens to get to it first, and all those fuel were pushed away from the Bees' hopper. And Bees, they only got a couple in into their hopper, and as they're shooting in auto, they ended up driving over, getting stuck. Now that can be attributed to whatever, right? To their vision, how their bot's designed, how fast they're going over the bump, etc. Right? But the overall story is that they didn't get as many fuel in auto as to win it. So now throughout the entire match, you're seeing it that they're playing catch up. And 35-39, they're taking advantage of that. So now they have more time to get ready, get set, get to the side of to their hub, and they're just unloading all those fuel into the hub and just playing the long game of just staying out of 33's reach. So that way they're forced to chase you in that score. And you saw in the final results in the points, right?
Yeah.
So hence I think for auto, that's going to be like the new the can grabbers of 2015 or the notes in 2024. That's going to be the race for this year's auto.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely seeing a lot of action in the midfield. One thing I'm really interested actually to see how it might evolve, and I don't want to speculate and talk too much about it, but the team update we had prior to week 3 kind of massively changed the way teams are able to approach what they're doing in the middle of the field in Auton, right? Because I don't want to phrase this in a way that gives people bad ideas, but basically they changed rules that have to do with contact inside your opponent with your intake, basically anything that ends up probably outside your robot. Where obviously you don't know where your opponents are going to be, and so they kind of made it so you can't commit a foul from that in auto. Where now, I know, assuming you don't go fully on the opponent's side of the field, right?
Right.
But if you're like a quarter of your robots on your side and the other 3/4 isn't, I feel like it makes scouting maybe a little bit simpler, and that now you're not really worried about making sure, well, can we be there first? Can we avoid, hitting somebody else's Auton maybe? But I don't know. I just feel like how you approach grabbing those balls, it gives you more options now as to where exactly in that big pool in the middle do you want to grab it from, and how can that potentially disrupt your opponent's ability to get some, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. Sometimes your auto may just be to move the ball so that way your opponents don't get it.
Yeah.
You don't have to collect it. You just have to, quote unquote, just get them messed up.
Yeah, get the balls messed up.
Yep.
But at the same time, it kind of now does add a little bit of risk if you're going past the midline too, because your opponents won't get called for a foul if they,
Mm-hmm.
are just running their normal Auton and something happens.
Right,
So,
right. So there's all choices you got to think about for auto. But, I mean, overall, depending on how you approach that auto, whether you're collecting or you're just disrupting, that's going to change to how the flow of that match. So, yeah. Yeah, Ian. So, guys.
you have anything, Nate?
No. Nah. Ball's
No.
going all over the place.
Fuel.
Get there fast and first, yeah. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
All right.
I think that is it for
Strategy number 2. Keep an eye out. We're doing a full trilogy. Strategy number 3 coming to you.
The Strategy Strikes Back.
I don't know if we're going to do that one before or after the Michigan State Championship, but we will get that to you probably.
Eventually.
In the meanwhile,
Let's do it. Actually, let's
Thank
try.
you for
let's
us for
let's try
joining.
it together.
try to do it all together.
Yeah, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you for joining. Make
Make
sure to like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram,
TikTok,
Patreon.
Patreon.
Ask Chris, he'll do anything.
Ask Chris to do
LinkedIn.
anything on Cameo. Be sure.
Oh, it's Cameo, not Patreon.
Stupid, bro.
Oh man.
You know what?
Also,
Yeah,
Pit
yeah, go-
podcast _official.
Pitpot, yeah, that's the handle for all of them. And we got the merch. Go to shop.pitpodcast.com, powered by Blue Arc Apparel. It's a one-man show by a great, great guy. And he'll do your team merch too. So
Yep.
check him out.
Sponsor, baby. Haha. 2026 World Tour shirt looks pretty spicy.
It does, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pit Crew. We will see you at the competition.